Hello friends, welcome back to Premo Cooks. Today we are going to make a lovely, beautiful, gorgeous, tasty, unique appetizer dish called a red lentil lettuce wrap. And it's a very fun dish that I learned from my good friend Chef Omer, who's from Turkey. And I've adapted his recipe quite a bit with things that we have on hand here in the Northwest where we live. And we've done a few things ahead of time to make this go a little bit quicker. And we have videos on those, so things you'll need to know is how to make millet. We'll have some pre-cooked millet, how to caramelize an onion or a leek, how to chop a leek if you're gonna use a leek. So we have those videos available for you if you don't know how to do those things. Otherwise, we have everything ready to go. And what we're gonna start with is on our stovetop, we're gonna put in 1 cup of split red lentils, 2 cups soup stock or water. I like soup stock because it imparts a little extra flavor. And this is homemade vegetable stock. And 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. This is a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm gonna do 2 of these. And now we wanna bring this to a boil before reducing it to a simmer. Once boiling, turn it down to a simmer. You want to make sure you still have a little bubble action going on in there. And I'm gonna take a spatula, touch the bottom, just give it a little stir. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of the pan. I want a little more simmer than that. And at this point, what we're gonna do, about 15 minutes, we want to let this sit and simmer, stirring occasionally every couple of minutes. The goal is to get all of the moisture burnt off, evaporated, and cooking down the lentils. And the reason that we're gonna stir them every once in a while is to break those down so that they get finer, mushier. They become more of a paste is what we're going for. And that's why red lentils are really great for this type of recipe, is they're gonna become more of a dough-like texture when they're cooked. So stir every couple of minutes for 15 minutes till all of the liquid is gone.
And that's about the simmer you want, right?
Yeah. After about 15 minutes of stirring occasionally, the lentils have now cooked down and started to stick to the bottom of the pan a little bit, which is just quite all right. And you can see that they're falling apart, becoming a little more stew-like, which is exactly the consistency that we're going for. So next what we want to do is add in 1 cup of cooked millet. This is going to thicken up this paste and absorb any excess moisture. This is also going to make it easier for us to roll into balls later. So at this point, once the millet's mixed in, turn the heat off and transfer the mixture to a bowl, set it on the counter and let it cool until it's room temperature or easy enough to handle with your hands. We're gonna then mix in a few additional ingredients before making our wraps. While this was cooling, I chopped green onions, I chopped parsley, I blended up some peppadew peppers. So now we have this beautiful peppadew pepper paste. This is what a peppadew pepper looks like before it's blended. This is what it looks like after it's blended. And these are essentially, I'll show you the texture. These are essentially a pickled cherry pepper, or a pickled peppadew pepper is another word for them. But you can find them in the olive bar section at a lot of grocery stores. So I strain out the liquid and then blend them up and then use this as a red pepper paste. It's delicious. So I did that while this was cooling. So what I want to do now is add in this 2 tablespoons of parsley minced. It's about 2 tablespoons. I have 1 teaspoon of cumin. I am going to use about 1/2 cup of this red pepper paste to start, and then I'll add more if needed, but I want to taste it first and also check the consistency before I commit to using all of it. I also have these 3 caramelized leeks, and I will fully admit, burn them a little bit because I wasn't paying enough attention, and they're a lot thinner than onions. So you need to stir them more often and be more mindful with them. Onions are a lot more forgiving because they're thick and they have a lot more water content in them, but they're not so burnt that they're not edible, and they're actually still really tasty and they have a nice crunch to them. So I'm gonna add these in. You can also, I think I said this earlier, use caramelized onions instead of leeks. I just really love leeks. I like to try to find more purposes in my life for leeks as often as possible. Because this bowl is so tiny, what I want to do is actually use my hands for mixing this. It'll be a lot easier, faster, get everything more blended. I'm gonna wash it off though real quick. Once it is evenly mixed, taste it. I'm very happy with this. At home, if you would like, you can add more salt, add more red pepper paste. Now's your chance. If you're also stoked like I am, pull out your prepped lettuce. Whatever lettuce will work for you to have a little wrap situation happening. We're gonna make little balls and place them right inside of these little lettuce leaves. After you have plated these beauties, we obviously have a lot left too, so you can make quite a lot of these, but we have just this little platter for my imaginary guests today. And the next thing you wanna do for garnishing them, you can use cashew sour cream, which I'm going to do. We have a recipe for this as well in a video if you're interested. Otherwise, you could use tzatziki,
tzatziki, or Greek pronunciation, tzatziki,
yogurt, sour cream, but it's nice to have a little something creamy on top. And do a tiny bit of cashew sour cream. Little dollop will do. Aren't these the cutest? Yes, say my imaginary guess. Okay, the next thing, you can use green onions for a garnish as well to add a little bit of oniony, spicy goodness. So I have two different versions of green onions that I chopped up. So I have some that are cut on the bias, and then I have these sort of matchstick julienned parts of the onion. They look like this, very cute. So I think that these look nice, sort of punched up on the top, just for serving purposes. Zhuzhing it up. Voila, red lentil lettuce wraps. And now to eat them, I'm gonna have to move these really cool green onions over to the side probably. Wrap it up, boom, 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 and take a big bite.
How is it?
It's so good. Sorry, my mouth is very full. You see my happy dance? If you'd like to stick around, I have a few more things to tell you about ways to substitute and make this recipe your own at home. Okay, friends, just a few more comments on this recipe if you want to make any substitutions at home. So we used millet in this recipe. You could substitute bulgur wheat if you don't mind being not gluten-free. Then you could use bulgur wheat in place of millet. The red lentils, the only thing I can think of to substitute those with would be yellow split peas. Those break down really similarly, and I think that you could get the same texture going. And like I said, you can substitute caramelized onions for onions. You could do, instead of the peppadew peppers blended up how we did, you can find at a lot of ethnic food stores, or specifically somewhere where you can find Middle Eastern foods, you could get a jar of red pepper paste that's already made of red peppers. So there's lots of options with that, or you could do roasted red peppers and blend those up. Another nice addition to this recipe is to add citrus. Orange juice is a really nice touch. You could also use cilantro instead of parsley. The combination of the orange juice and cilantro with this recipe is super yummy. Other ways that you can eat this recipe besides doing the lettuce wraps, it's really nice in a pita pocket with cucumbers and yogurt. You can make a really nice cold sandwich out of it. And traditionally, these are made to be an appetizer and they're served either room temperature or cold. But if you have a lot of leftovers, it is nice to reheat them. You can even make a little patty or fritter, fry it up, put an egg on it, eat it for breakfast. That's a real tasty way to reuse the batter for something else. So you can get really creative. This is a really fun, different recipe. Anyone that tries it typically says, wow, I've never tasted anything like this. It's so unique, it's so delicious. And it's something that most people haven't tried the flavor combination of before. So it's really interesting, but it's really good, super addictive. Whenever we make this, we fly through it at home. So give it a try. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And let us know if you have any questions. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for following along and thanks for watching. Don't ever use that.
Good job.
Shanks. Hey y'all, if you didn't know, One of the best ways that you could support my husband and I doing Premo Cooks, if you like our content, would be to like, subscribe, or comment. Any of those things or all of those things would be super appreciated. Thank you for watching. Why am I so nervous today?